and welcome to the Brojo Not Brojo Mix Joe of Game Boys. I am John Dean.
I'm Eli.
You're not... Oh, okay, then Gil.
Tristan! No, I'm just kidding. I'm Zach.
Alright, let's get right into some trailers. Alright, so you guys watched the Mario and Rabbids trailer, right?
No, that was not on my list.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so I
think I know which game you're talking about, though.
Yeah, it's the Mario Rabbids mixture trailer thing that's going on.
Alright, yeah, I know about it, so.
Yeah,
XCOM
the trailer
Rabbids.
really didn't give us anything hella new or whatever. It really just kind of, like, put this in your face and was like, hey, this is still happening. And I'm pretty excited. I mean, it's like Mario and Rabbids meets XCOM, so...
Yeah, I'm oddly excited, even though I really don't like turn-based games. Or turn-based combat, anyway.
Yeah, it seems like it's a mixture between, like, a strategy and, like, a turn-based kind of thing.
Well, its lack of seriousness kind of draws me in. It just seems like it'll be a fun thing to do. Just kind of like how Mario Kart really isn't a racing game, but it technically is.
Yeah, and that's a lot to do with Rabbids, too. Like, pretty much nothing that they are ever in is taken seriously.
Just
And
like your mother.
It's pretty fucking great because of it.
Really, Gil?
God damn it, Gil.
Really, Gil?
So, we got a really interesting trailer, and that is the Ubisoft and Square Enix trailer about the Assassin's Festival in Final Fantasy 15. And what this is that Ubisoft and Square Enix, they've done this kind of before, but nothing like this big. They're doing like a team-up, and they're doing an Assassin's Creed and Final Fantasy 15 crossover, where basically it's like another story pack for Final Fantasy 15, in which they take part in what's called an Assassin's Festival, and it's going to be extremely reminiscent of Assassin's Creed while still playing in the style of Final Fantasy 15. And they haven't announced what they're going to be doing for Assassin's Creed's portion of this yet, but the Final Fantasy 15 crossover part is coming on August 31st. What did you guys think of that?
I just think it looks kind of weird. I'm not really looking forward to it at all.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've heard of it, but this is not the first time that it's happening. So,
I mean, I kind of thought it looked cool.
Just so long as we get some hilarious glitches.
Like
think
that
it does.
metal.
yeah, it looks pretty interesting, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I think the only thing that really, like, turns me on to the idea is that it's like Assassin's Creed themed, but it's still Final Fantasy 15's gameplay.
Right.
Because, as I've said numerous times, I really hate the combat in Assassin's Creed. It's extremely boring.
It gets a
And,
little repetitive.
staying on Final Fantasy 15 news, Final Fantasy 15 is now coming to mobile devices. And it looks fucking weird.
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
think that's a good transition. But
Are we talking the actual full game or the tower defense stuff they got right now?
The tower defense thing is already in there. What we're getting now is basically the full game getting put on mobile. And what it looks like is that they're like changing the art style so that the game can actually run on tablets, because there's no way that any tablet can support a game that looks like Final Fantasy 15 and then also runs as well as Final Fantasy 15. They're doing like an almost cartoonish, like, chibi thing. It looks really weird.
Are we still gonna get tickle bitties and giant swords?
There's more than likely going to be both of those things. Well, I mean, I guess there hasn't been as much over-sexualization of, like, female characters.
Cindy.
I think her name's just Sid, isn't it?
No, Sid's her grandpa. Cindy is the...
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, about how she's kind of the only one in recent history that's been, like, really bad, or anything like that. But yeah, she's, like, I have no idea what they were going for with that character. Because she's like a grease monkey that wears like a thong that you can totally see.
This is why
They were
I
just
make
trying to
comments.
hit all the female stereotypes.
Go ahead,
It,
Joe,
it-
make a comment.
it pretty much does.
Like,
It-
she's a
it's like all
tomboy,
of the-
but she's also a slut.
Everybody's dream.
It literally hits like every single southern, overly attractive Southern Belle stereotype that you can think of. The next one that we got is the Inmates official announcement trailer. I don't really know. It looks kind of like a survival horror game. At least like it runs like one, but basically you're just like in a jail. I don't know. The trailer didn't really give us a whole lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks good, but there's not a lot to go off of.
It definitely caught my attention.
It kind of, I don't know why, but for some reason it kind of reminded me of like that new Hello Neighbor. Is that what it's called? Hello Neighbor?
Yeah, I think
That
so.
game?
Hmm.
It also reminded me of Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, but that's because that was in a jail though. That took place.
Yes.
One of the maps took place in the jail.
I don't know. I don't much care for horror games.
I like them as long as they're made well.
As in my experience, they mostly run off jump scares.
You mean like Resident
Yeah,
Evil?
that's true.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's
I think
also
it-
horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think in games versus like horror movies, the jump scare is a little bit more acceptable because I mean, when you're playing a game, you're actually like playing it, so there's a level of engagement to it. But when I'm watching a movie, I'm just sitting down watching it.
Right.
There's like a big difference between like turning around and something being there and jump scaring me versus watching someone turn around and there being something there to scare them.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I don't like Insidious, because Darth Maul just comes out of nowhere.
What?
Yeah. That's just my own opinion, though. The next trailer is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but I'm going to try. Anno 1800. No idea what this game's going to be. We just got a bunch of big boats, and some old-timey landscape and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting to me. It kind of looks like Banished, if any of you know what
Oh,
that
yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I like, sounds kind of dumb, but I like boats, bigger boats and stuff like that. So even like though this trailer didn't give us like anything to go off of, I'm like super paying attention to what this might be.
John, do you like bigger boats because you can fit all your hose on them?
So we can have bigger hose.
Yeah.
Boats
Big
and
hose for
hose?
big boats.
No, I did like the sprite work just in the trailer. I don't know if that was cinematic or actual gameplay though.
I'm guessing it was more of a cinematic thing
So
because there was like no gameplay at all, really.
yeah.
I don't know. We got a couple racing games now.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, we
That
were
was-
well goddamn aware.
Yeah, I
put them all in a row because I figured that would be pretty funny.
It was real depressing.
It basically made everybody sad in the room. Like, I don't know. Some of them look alright. I mean,
See, that's the thing. Like racing games, to me, they always look really good. But then I
Yeah.
play them, and I'm just like, man, this sucks.
You turn left to go left, you turn right to go right.
it's not NASCAR. Well,
You go real
No, some of
fast.
kind of.
Some of them can.
Yeah.
I mean, NASCAR only takes one type of turn,
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Unless
and
you
that's
use
the wrong one.
Yeah.
God
Get
damn
it?
it.
'Cause it's not a
Yeah,
right turn.
we get it.
That was a real
Alright,
type
alright.
joke right there.
Okay, the first one is The Crew 2. Anything you guys want to say about this one?
Ryan was
Um,
raving about it while he was here because you could ride a fucking plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Dude,
that part
I mean,
did
there
look.
was fucking everything in this one. They got boats and planes and fucking dirt bikes.
Was there a
off-road
tank?
Shit, I don't know.
Someone-
I was actually. What was that?
Someone said something about a tank. Was there a tank in that trailer?
I think that might have been just a
I
joke.
don't remember if there was a tank in the trailer, but it wouldn't surprise me if you could drive a tank in a game.
All I know is I got burned pretty bad by the first crew, which I did actually buy. I just
Yeah, that game was pretty lame.
it was pretty bad.
All right,
So-
and then we'll talk about gravel for a little while. Anything special about this one?
It's on
It's
dirt.
dirty.
Yeah, no,
Lots
Yeah,
of
it's
different
pretty much-
modes.
Racing on dirt.
that just seems restrictive to me versus other games, like other racing
I don't
games.
know. This one kind of got my attention because I like rally a little bit more than like just other forms of racing. And some of my favorite racing games were not last gen, but the generation before that, the rally sport racing games and stuff like that. So it's kind of reminiscent of that, and so it grabs my attention, gets me excited a little bit. And then we'll go straight into Need for Speed Payback, and this one's probably the least interesting to me. Because, yeah, I don't know, the last couple Need for Speeds haven't been exactly engaging.
Yeah, the last
Really?
one. I don't know. It was the last one was fun for a while, but then it kind of just got a little repetitive after a while.
Oh, yeah, the reception for the last Need for Speed game wasn't all that great either. It was like, I think maybe like a couple weeks after it came out, it was already on sale for like $30.
Oh,
That
wow,
that is pretty brutal.
Damn, and for Need
Yeah,
for
it was
Speed
funny.
too.
But no, I mean, the last couple ones have been like, they've been trying to like integrate stories into the racing, but they're
Yeah.
not good stories.
Yeah,
Just really boring.
they
Drive
kind
for your crew.
of
Drive for your family.
they kind of fall flat.
Yeah. The next thing we can talk about is that Kirby 25th anniversary trailer.
I am all over
I'm
that.
fucking pumped.
Same.
Gil,
Like, hardcore Kirby's one of the best Nintendo characters out there.
he's also the only one you play on Smash Bros. but-
I do not just play as Kirby, but Kirby is very much a
That's
main.
totally not true.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say either 99% of the time or 100% of the time it is Kirby on Smash Bros.
I play Ike and Robin.
No, that's me.
No, you play.
I prefer the platforming of Kirby over like some of the other ones and stuff like that, like Mario and whatnot. But this one's got a lot of like callbacks to Kirby 64, which is one of my favorite Kirby games ever.
I actually never got a chance to play that one, but I saw a Let's Play of it and it looked fantastic. Kind of wanted to
My
find.
only issue with Kirby is just how ridiculously easy the game is. But I mean, I'm not looking for that to change. It's
Well, I
kinda
mean,
nice.
it's
I can
always
just
been
put it on
targeted at a
platform.
younger demographic.
Yeah, I can like put in a good platformer and drool my way to the end of the game in like a good 10 hours or so.
Yeah.
Alright, next trailer is a cinematic trailer for Immortal Unchained. And I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this one either.
Yeah,
All
no,
I
it
know-
didn't give a whole hell of a
I
lot.
too was once.
It
taken
basically
by
showed a guy breaking chains.
All I
Yeah.
know is that for the
Yeah.
time being, I will name
Well,
that guy Django.
Oh my!
He is for sure unchained if he is breaking chains. I don't know. Again, this is another one that like at least did a good job of like grabbing my attention and being like, "Hey, look at me!"
I'm in chains.
And so, exactly. All right, we'll go on to the Sims 4 Cats and Dogs
Oh,
reveal
God.
trailer.
Okay, so
I'm not really a Sims guy, but are any of you?
we were talking about this. It said start your own veterinary
Oh,
clinic.
Ian, hello.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I was on here already, but well, we were talking about this and like it said start your own veterinary clinic. I think it's like, oh boy, I get to put pets down.
That.
I mean, that makes me a little bit more like curious to see what's actually going to be in the game, at least.
Like putting pets down is like something that makes you want to play this game.
No, just that it's like set. Yeah, well, a little bit. Like a veterinary clinic and whatnot, because I don't know. I like animals and I like cats and I like dogs and
Corgi and a hot
I don't
dog.
really like. I don't really like people, so that kind of turns me off to the ordinary Sims games. But I do like animals, so
I mean,
still probably
I-
not really gonna look too deep into this one.
They
Yeah.
kind of imply that you'd be putting animals down. I mean, did you see the sad face they had before
Yeah.
they got the new dog?
Yeah, the one
And then
lady.
they
like-
get a new dog.
Like
there's
completely
nothing.
off subject with everything else in that, but it kind of seemed like that option may or may not be there, which is, I don't know, is that kind of messed up, or is
I mean, it's a
I
or
mean,
should we or should it be
People
thrown?
die in The Sims, so
or
I'm
should
not
it-
surprised.
Well, yeah, but more people are more sympathetic towards
Yeah, because
pets,
they have
animals.
innocence, but
Yeah, but you know, like,
Corgi and a hot dog.
It
it's
is,
just
whatever.
it's just something I picked up from it.
Yeah, again, I'm probably not gonna like go out of my way to pre-order this or anything, but
When
I
it's out,
probably
you might
won't
get
even
it when it's
buy
on
it
sale.
until it's super cheap.
It might just be 3 weeks like the last Need for Speed.
Yeah.
It'd be quite fun. Alright, the next thing is Age of Empires Definitive Edition and then Age of Empires 4. And I'm a little bit more excited for this Definitive Edition of Age of Empires than I am for an actual next Age of Empires. And that's because that's where I got my RTS start and whatnot. Even though it's kind of more like a little bit of strategy with like a world building kind of thing.
I don't know. I'm psyched for both. Just-
Yeah, I'll
I'm
definitely
hoping
pay
that they
attention to both.
I'm hoping they actually do a good successor to the Age of Empires 2. Because a lot of
Yeah,
people just don't even
definitely.
consider 3 a game.
Yeah, I'm on the same side. Like, as long as we can get something that's at least competent. Well, I would prefer something that's at least really good, but as long as it's not the shit show that 3 was. And then Trunks and androids have been confirmed for Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And then we also got an announcement for a new special edition, or a collector Z edition, which looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
In
yeah,
a
it
good
does.
way or a bad way? 'Cause
Oh,
I
come
didn't
over
see
here.
it.
I have a fucking picture. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Let me pull it up. It's on my news. It'll be on my docs. It comes with a lot of weird ass shit, and as much as like John knows how big of a DBZ fanboy I am whatsoever.
Well, I mean, I'm super excited for this game too, but it's like, holy crap.
Yeah, no, but
This
what
this
they
is like a 2D fighter, and usually those are just like games that you could buy off the PlayStation Store or Xbox Live
this is
Store.
the collector's edition, and it is that is ridiculous. It comes with what, like 3
A 7-inch or something like that Goku
Right.
figure, like statue,
yeah,
the steel book,
yeah.
and then I think there's like 3 mat boards or something like
Art
that.
cards.
Yeah, and one of them is like 17 and 18, and then the other 2 haven't been shown, so you won't even know until it comes out.
Right.
Then you get a box.
God damn it, Gil.
For the tune of $140.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
I'm good without that box.
Yo, you see, that's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
money that I'm not willing to pay for just, like, I don't like collecting shit like that anyways. I think
I'm gonna say that like most of that money is basically going to that statue.
To the statue.
yeah,
Mhm.
because basically,
7-inch statue really isn't that big.
yeah, because basically, so it's
I
not,
could hold that up next to my penis and be like, okay, yeah, that's about right.
what, what, what,
He didn't hear you, John.
Oh, well then that's fine. Moving on.
No, well, we were talking about like how ridiculous these like special editions are. It's like that $800.
Yeah, I mean, they're all getting kind of ridiculous, but I mean, this is more expensive than the special edition for the Doom that I got when that came out
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah,
and it came with like a foot tall demon figure,
right. Did you
like statue.
hear that how much the Assassin's Creed Origins special edition, the highest it is?
I have not.
$800.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Does it
I'm
give
gonna
you
guess.
like the whole blade?
No,
arm
it gives you a
contraption?
giant. No, it gives you a giant eagle statue, some nice art books, like
When you
signed
say
shit.
giant,
Like it's only a foot.
okay.
It's
'Cause,
not-
like I think giant. I'm like, is that just a yard ornament? What the fuck are you
That's
doing?
what I was thinking. Too. Like, you get this big truck backed up to your house. It's like, all right.
Nah,
300-pound
it's
statue.
fucking-
Where
it's
the fuck am I
fucking,
gonna put it?
This shit is
It's like a
ridiculous, and
fountain.
like for me, and I think anyone who pays over like $200 for a game and their special shit is just fucking dumb. That,
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it
well,
is. Some
like-
people like to collect that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
I
they
like
have the
that
money, that's
special
their choice.
editions exist, as long as they don't include like crazy exclusive content, like in-game stuff that you can
Yeah.
only get through this way. As long as it's again maybe only a cosmetic thing. But Dragon Ball Fighter Z's Collector Edition also comes with early unlocks for Blue Goku and Vegeta.
right.
And as they have specified that they're early unlocks, they're not like exclusives. And that's not as bad. It kind of pisses me off. Because it's like now people are going to get like a much bigger time window to get these characters' combos down and stuff like that. From a competitive standpoint, it kind of pisses me off.
Right.
I think we're done with trailers at least. So, EA has recently like expressed that they think Mass Effect has gone the way of getting way too much criticism and has basically decided to just cut the game off. They're not doing anything to it now. They're done.
Well, that sucks, I guess, because I don't know. Mass Effect was kind of a shit show, anyways. This game was to me, at least.
Yeah.
Like all of them, or?
No,
Just
just
the end.
Andromeda.
No, they're not
And
going to
the
patch
other three.
Andromeda anymore.
Oh,
The end of
nice.
3 is shit. We've talked about that numerous times.
Anyway, yeah.
I thought to bring it up.
I haven't played Andromeda just because I heard so much terrible stuff about it, so I'll probably pick it up when it's
Yeah.
cheaper. But honestly, for EA, I'm surprised they didn't just drop it way sooner.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same side. Like, I'm surprised it took them this long to just be like,
Yeah, we messed up. We're sorry.
there's this thing that's actually going around, and there's like a tech company, and this is also related to Mass Effect. There's a tech company that usually like spends their time helping people like set up computers and stuff like that. That recently got into and I can't remember the name of this tech company, but they recently got into a scandal in which they posted on their Facebook a couple of things about Mass Effect Andromeda, but they had posted it as if they were working with EA on Mass Effect Andromeda, and EA found it and made a huge fucking deal about it. It got all like literally like publicly outed this tech company, and so now there's a bunch of people that are like blaming this small company that usually like spends its time helping people's grandmas like figure out how to bookmark shit. The reasoning that Andromeda is getting dropped by EA now, and so they're seeing a lot of flack for all of this. But I don't know, I thought Andromeda was just a big shit show, and so I'm not sad about this at all.
I don't know. I mean, I'll still play it someday, despite all its flaws.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a bunch that's fixed up now with it.
Yeah, that.
A little bit, but there's still a couple of things that still need work, and it is a little sad that they're not gonna even try to fix some of it.
Stacy's mom has got it going on.
What?
God damn it, Gil.
What?
That's just
Icebreaker.
Alright, so
Oh.
the next thing that we have is that Rocket League is coming to the Switch here pretty soon. I think it's pretty soon.
Luigi cars.
And the Switch version is getting exclusive Mario and Metroid themed cars, which sounds really underwhelming.
Yeah, I don't even give a shit. I have Warthogs on the Xbox.
Yeah,
From Halo.
which is pretty cool.
And they shoot needlers for boost. That's all I've ever wanted.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like Rocket League, but this is like the game's been out for a while, so like announcing that we're getting new stuff and it only being like themed cars is pretty fucking lame.
I think they're just trying to maintain relevancy because it really has died off since like last summer when it was just super popular.
Is it just
those? Around the time that you could play it for free is when it like peaked and then it dropped pretty fast.
Yep.
Is it just those 3 themed cars, or?
As far as we know.
Oh.
The Mario, the Luigi, and then the Metroid one, which the Metroid one looks kind of cool. I'll give them that.
Wow, that is pretty underwhelming.
Mario and Luigi, the ones are just like, okay, whatever. Give me some real games, Nintendo. Like that Mario Rabbids.
No, they can just keep rebooting for the Switch. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, exactly. The next thing is that Skyrim PSVR, which is only like the 87th rendition of Skyrim, was playable this past weekend at Gamescom, and it received very mixed views.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you guys watched anything on it, but you're not even like moving in the game. When you're not locked in combat, you have to select a point at which to go to, and then you just teleport to that point. And they say that is basically because trying to like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like simulate movement in virtual reality is like causing motion sickness quite often. And so they went with this teleport option instead, except for when you're locked in battle, you're basically standing still, swinging your sword and shielding and stuff like that. And I don't like it because I move all over the place when I'm playing Skyrim.
Yeah.
And it looks like it makes like searching for items in the world really awkward too.
I don't like, even if it does cause motion sickness, I don't really think that they should just choose to. I feel like they're just using that as an out.
To make the game easier to make?
Yeah. To just do this teleport thing. Like, I think they should have still done it the other way, even if it causes motion sickness in some people. I mean, then they just won't play it.
Yeah, it's a little, I don't know. I'm like pretty done with Skyrim. I've only played it like a million times.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
I really don't see the appeal of playing it in VR, especially if it's going to be this limited.
Well, I mean, with VR, you should know that at some point, some people are going to get motion sickness. So
that's.
I mean, that was part of the. That's kind of the risk with buying that stuff.
The whole thing is like that it's motion.
Yeah. Like,
yep.
In virtual reality. VR Troopers.
Right.
Oh god.
The next thing we have is Hellboy, Raiden, and Black Manta are coming as DLC pack for Injustice 2.
Yeah.
I'll be buying that in the deluxe edition when it eventually comes out.
Exactly.
That's my problem. I think that's dumb as shit. Like, fucking hate when companies do that. Like, if you're gonna do like guest characters and shit like that, just put them in. I think that shit's fucking pointless.
It's not though. They make like an extra $5 off that. It's all worth it.
You know what I mean? But like a lot of like, we've talked about this before, and like.
From a gamer standpoint, it's basically like you're getting ripped off.
Yeah, because you're buying it.
From a gamer standpoint, it's like, yeah, it doesn't seem like it's worth it. But from a company standpoint, they like have to program not just like the character models in, but like the combos and movement and mechanics and stuff like that.
I get that.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
But what I was going with is that like before they started doing this shit, if you remember correctly, they had the most of these games had characters locked that on your disc that you had to buy the DLC for, even though it was already on your disc. That's the one I was going with.
The ones hidden in a paywall.
Yeah.
The only one that I can really think of that does stuff like that is like Street Fighter V, and I don't think that they locked characters by a paywall. They just locked like costumes and such. But I mean, these aren't like, as far as we know, these aren't pre on the disc kind of thing. NetherRealm's usually pretty good with stuff like that. This is like a legitimate like download, and then they update the characters into the game when they're all finished and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. DLC character packs are usually something that I just wait until I can buy like a finished version of the game that comes with all of them for. Unless it's a fighting game that I'm really excited for, like Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'll probably get that right away.
And the statue.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that. That thing's expensive. And then I don't know if you guys watched anything on this, but KFC has started using virtual reality to train its employees.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I saw that.
I've actually
Yeah.
seen job simulators with that virtual reality stuff, but
God.
not training programs.
Nah, you fucking kidding
Yeah,
that?
well, I mean, this is basically like a job simulator, and then KFC just kind of decided they were going to use it to actually train their employees.
Wouldn't it be more useful just to have them do it in the actual store?
But this way, they don't end up wasting product.
Oh god.
Yeah, I guess I
They
can see
just
that.
have to buy a lot
I
of
don't know,
VR
it's
machines.
Well, yeah,
It's
but you're still
weird
holding
to me.
those. But aren't you still
I could
holding
just-
like? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I could just picture like somebody getting ready to bread the chicken in the game, and then they just stick the controller in the breading and then fry it up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you're still holding those
Somebody
joysticks.
gets like an Oculus Rift controller in their chicken bucket.
What is
So-
It
the...
would probably still taste good. I'd probably still eat that.
Just eat the
Okay.
breading. Forget the
Yeah,
controller.
but just eat the controller skin.
Yeah. But yeah, like you're.
Okay. I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me.
I mean, you're holding the joysticks. Like, you're not really hands-on doing anything. So I don't really see how that really prepares you for the job. Other than, you can see what you're doing, but you're not really, in a way, doing it physically.
Yeah, it's not like you're actually covering a chicken leg in breading or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just
I mean,
simulating
that's
it.
like you have to do it right.
It's like just throwing someone out there and say, "All right, go ahead."
Alright, well, the next thing is Overwatch has a new animated short that I still don't care about. Rise and Shine,
That's some.
starring May.
May is bae.
Figured Key and pipe up for that one. I don't know. These animated shorts are kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, why couldn't this have just been a part of the game?
Yeah, why couldn't they have just implemented a goddamn story?
It's like bonus
Exactly.
features, story.
Yeah,
So
that's,
my guess is it's honestly so that they could have released the game on time,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then, like, come up with this story, like, later.
So they could kill
People
Battleborn.
have been asking for like
Bastards.
2 years now where this character came from. Here's this video.
Yeah.
Yo, that's my problem with Overwatch is that like I said their universe is much more like interesting to me than their own fucking game. But I don't get that much to like really be like, "Oh, that's awesome." I have to wait like 6 fucking months for like something new and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I'm also at that point.
Yeah. I don't mind Overwatch as a game, but a story would have been really nice.
I don't know. It's just it loses its replayability to me personally. Like, just after I've played so many matches, it's like, oh well, if you don't have like the one of these 4 characters on your team, you're just gonna lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Alright, and the last thing that we have to talk about are the SNES Mini pre-orders.
Mini SNES.
Yeah, they're already sold out.
No
Wow.
shit.
Of course.
What?
I believe
The
that.
hour.
Yeah. There's a
I
lot
think
of
it was
nes-
like the hour that they went on sale.
yeah. There's
I believe I read this somewhere that it was like 46 minutes and 17 seconds that they were available,
Holy shit.
which is a little bit longer than the NES one. But yeah, they sold out super fast. The only chance of finding one now are the Walmart ones that people started reserving from Walmart before they were supposed to be able to, and then Walmart was like, oops, I guess we're gonna have to cancel everybody's pre-orders and then stock our shelves with them.
Oh boy.
Way to go, Walmart.
That's gonna be a
Jeez.
shit show.
I'm
Yeah,
not really
those are-
surprised. There's a lot of nostalgia at work there.
See, this shit
those
is
are probably already sold out too, though.
this shit
Honestly,
is fucking
the Walmart
ridiculous.
ones.
Probably.
Good God.
I'm waiting for the
But yeah.
mini N64. Thank you very much.
That was one of the topics that I kind of wanted to discuss after the news. Is what do you guys think about these miniature consoles? And then do you have any good memories with the original ones?
I think these miniature consoles are fucking dumb. And I'm just gonna... Nah, for real. For real.
From my perspective, yeah, they're pretty dumb.
They're
from a collector's perspective, these are super cool. And from a businessman's
Yeah, you're making money,
like,
and I get
yeah.
you.
this is a fucking gold mine.
Right.
These things cost like, I think it's like less than 2 cents to make each one, and then they sell for like $30 because they run off of like less memory than what's in your cell phone. And Nintendo, like before the NES came out, got like a shipment of these like little cell phone memory things that they basically got in a deal, so they didn't even pay for them. And so they're just loading them up into these classic consoles, and are all like, "Hey, buy this fucking plastic box with like a flip phone's memory card in it for $30," and people are freaking the fuck out.
It's this shit is ridiculous to me because I just downloaded Sonic Mania on our Xbox, and
Yeah.
for
Pretty great game, to be honest.
so fucking fun, just so
As
fun.
far as like being a Sonic game goes, it's actually pretty good.
Right, it's nostalgia up the butthole. But like with that, like what I was trying to say is that like most of these games, like Xbox has SNK Arcade, where I can download and buy like SNK Arcade games that I like. Like I have I have Metal Slug, I have Final Fight, I have all these fucking games that I had when I was a kid that I can easily access. And that's the same thing with the virtual console for the Wii U and shit like that. It's like I don't
Which I would much rather have.
Right, because I think personally, like I've had this conversation with you when the fucking N64 thing's coming out, and it's going to come out. I am not gonna buy it because I fucking hated that controller. I think that controller was the most stupidest piece of shit in the world.
Was that the 3?
We-
That was-
Yeah,
we
the 3 one.
Discussed
the
this
Trident.
already.
Yep.
Right.
It's 2 prongs so that you can hold on to it, and the third is so you can shove it up your
But,
ass.
yeah, no, that's not for me. I give it, I don't take it. But nah, so like straight up, like you can get emulators and shit like this to download these
For
games
free.
that you yeah.
Well, the thing is, though, that the people who are buying these mini consoles, I feel like they're not even using them. They're just putting them in a case so they can look
yeah,
at them.
most of the people that are buying them are either turning around and selling them for what's going on eBay right now for around $300 to $400.
Jesus
Yo,
fucking
Holy
Christ.
shit.
Or putting them on their shelf and just maybe playing them for like a half hour.
Yeah.
Or they're just putting them on display right away.
Which is fucking dumb. Like I get the whole collecting thing, whatever. I get that. But like at the same time, I can't fucking wrap my mind around shit like that. Like I can't.
Yeah,
Like,
my thing is I'd much rather have all of those games in one place. So like on the virtual console that already exists, and then I'm not gonna pay $30 for a bunch of games that should be like 50 cents. Maybe. I mean, all of these games are like 15 years old, 15, 20 years old. Basically have been around as long as I have. You don't see anybody spending $30 on me. It's pretty bullshit.
Well, I mean, we could
Close.
take you out for a good time, John.
I'm down. Come get me right now.
Oh, yeah, you gotta wait
And
for your
Lamar's.
tattoo. Yeah. But right. But like that's the thing that gets me on these kind of things. It's just like sooner or later, you know, this is gonna happen. Maybe it's like 10 years down the line, they're gonna do this with like Xbox and PlayStation and all this
absolutely.
bullshit. And I'm just like, why can't
Well,
you make?
I mean, Xbox is at E3 announced that original Xbox games are coming to Xbox One. So, speaking of Xbox One, I totally learned something that completely flew over my head, basically all since E3, and that's that the Xbox One X is acronymed Xbox. And I just wanted to point that out because I feel really fucking stupid for not catching that sooner.
The funny thing is, as soon as I heard it was called the Xbox One X, I pointed that out to a bunch of coworkers and even Brady. Like, really?
But not to me.
I'm sorry.
How about that? I had to
I don't know.
write it out for a second.
I think the Super Nintendo is like one of the ones that I think is most justified for this kind of like retro classic thing.
Right, because it's
it
the most
probably
played.
has some of the most fun games on it.
Yeah, it's got like Donkey Kong.
I don't know, all I remember playing on mine was SimCity.
I remember
Well, I'm
all
just
the
talking
Mario
about
games.
the SNES in general, not necessarily the classic. Like the SNES has like the better library of some of those classic consoles.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong Country and shit like that.
But like we didn't even get some of the better games on this. Like there's no fucking Link to the Past on there, and that makes me really mad.
But you got your own virtual console, dude. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can already get it on Virtual Console. And Star Fox 2 is like the big advertisement for this thing because it never got released in the first place. It's probably never going to get released again. And by the sounds of it, they're not even like planning a Virtual Console for the Switch. So there's a good chance that we won't even get like a Switch Virtual Console version of it. And so like this is pretty much them being like, hey, Star Fox 2, this is the only way you're gonna get it. Except for that's totally not true because you've been able to play it on an emulator for like the past 10 years. So that just like outs the entire purpose of buying one pretty much.
I just think it's stupid.
Yeah, I think it's just a big cash grab.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think that I get it. It makes money, but at the same time, like, it's just why, like.
Because they know people will buy them.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
Well,
I had
again, they sold out like in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Right, I had a Super Nintendo when I was younger, and I played the shit out of Donkey Kong Country 2. But I'm not gonna like spend my time being like, oh, I'm gonna go buy this. I don't
so
have
I can
that.
stare at it on my shelf.
Right.
I'd get one just because my Super Nintendo's broken.
I've still
But
got
you can't
mine.
even play every Super Nintendo game on it. I
Fuck.
mean, you could literally like pick up a Super Nintendo on eBay that plays all the Super Nintendo games. Doesn't really plug into like HDMI or anything, so you'll have to get like you can either get like ports or I think there are companies that make like cables that will do it that way now. They like convert it in the cable.
Yeah,
instead
they're
of you having
adapters
to
for
Yeah.
it.
plug
I
it into a box.
I still got some pretty
But-
old TVs in my house, so I could
That-
I could just hook one of
Right.
those up.
But you could literally get one on eBay for like $80 to $95. And this little thing that plays, I think it's 30 SNES games only. That's it. We'll never play anything else for like 300 to 400. It's like, guys.
Cheetos.
Are you literally stupid? Why are you buying this piece of plastic with like a flip phone in it for power and a couple USB ports, and then when you could literally buy the actual thing for way cheaper?
I mean, yeah.
I think a lot of like this going on to like the business side of it and like why it's even being made, a lot of like this classic stuff is almost like a real big cancer on like the entire gaming industry, because the entire time that they're like planning this SNES Classic out, I highly doubt they're like sitting in their offices like, okay, we've got the SNES Classic coming out, we should really spend our time making the next big game. When in reality, they're probably like sitting in their offices still counting the money that they got from this stupid thing.
Or they're planning out the next console to
Or yeah,
remake
the next
again.
classic is just
Yeah.
going to come out, and we're not going to get a new game because they're too busy with this thing. Too busy shoving piles and mounds of cash into Nintendo's vaults. So I don't know. I think it's up to like consumers at this point whether these classic things are gonna stop or not.
It doesn't seem
They
like
won't,
it.
yeah.
It doesn't seem
Not
like
with
it.
not with the numbers you gave us.
Yeah.
No, not with them selling out like literally instantly. It makes me mad because I'd really like to see Nintendo like moving into the future, and they're literally like, we have to live in the past. I don't know. What about you guys? Do you have any fond memories of older consoles like that?
I guess mine, like we were talking about, like straight up, is the Super Nintendo because it had Street Fighter Alpha 3 and all that. Like I played the shit out of that with my cousins. That and Battletoads. We played the shit out of Battletoads.
Mine would be the Super Nintendo as well. Like every day when I was younger, I'd play all the Mario games. I even had Spider-Man Maximum Carnage for it. So
No, that game was dope as shit too.
yeah, so
Yeah, that was a really good game.
it was like that was really fun.
See, I come from a poor family, so we had one. We just had Mario for it, and then me being me, I put change in it so it stopped working. And then from like the rest of my young childhood, the only time I could play anything was if I went over to a friend's who had it, and I wasn't a very social child, so I barely got any of that. The next time I got something good was when I got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas.
Hey.
Alright, so I grew up with a PS2.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a little
I
later
had
down
one
the
of those
timeline.
middle school.
Not even, yeah, I know, it's not even really a classic, but yeah,
I mean, you're young, so I
had
mean, it
Baldur's
can be.
Gate is what I played the shit out of.
I
I
had
mean,
that for Xbox, but yeah, I played the shit out of that too.
I'd mentioned PS2 as well, but really the only games I ever got for those, and still do to this day with my Xbox, are just like the pro wrestling games, and that's really it. Only because I'm like a huge fan.
No, my older brother, he had a Super Nintendo, but the only game I ever played was SimCity, and I was just garbage at it because I could not manage anything. I was like 8.
Did all
And so it just went bankrupt immediately every time.
did all the Sims like burn in a fire or something?
Pretty much. I mean, it was pretty pixelized. You couldn't really tell.
Did you summon Godzilla?
I did. Like, I'd do all... That was like my having fun with the game.
Just being a dick to the city.
Yeah,
man.
it was just like making a city and then just destroying the shit out of it.
I mean, I got a game for the original Wii where you could create your cities, and then you could just destroy them with tornadoes, fires, Godzillas, asteroids coming down. Just for that alone.
I think I had that one.
Like, I would just put up like 5 buildings and then just destroy them immediately.
Y'all motherfuckers are sociopathic as shit. God damn.
I mean, I don't play it anymore,
I mean,
but that was
not wrong.
I also played a lot of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Like,
And
I
War
know.
of the Monsters.
Yeah, War of the Monsters.
That was a
That
really
one
fun
was
game.
pretty good.
I'm
Where's
still
my
playing
GTA
I
GTA
meant to,
5.
meant to talk about that earlier.
Like, okay,
My first console was the NES, but I didn't really have very many memories of it because I only had like one game, and that was like the Super Mario Duck Hunt hybrid.
Oh yeah, I get
And then
that.
like later on, but plus this was like way after it actually came out. Like by the time I actually got one, it was like when the GameCube was gonna be coming out in like another year or two. And then when my cousin got a GameCube, he gave me his Nintendo 64, and that was like my big console growing up. Played the shit out of Pokemon Stadium,
Yes.
like for days straight, and there really wasn't that much to do in that game.
Battling Pokemon for days and mini games.
But that's all I got for this one, you guys. You guys have anything?
I got
Not
nothing.
particularly.
No, not really.
I think.
Alright, I think that's enough to call this one an episode.
Oh yeah.
Later, guys.
Later.
Sounds like we're filling a quota.